Everybody, my name is David Bush, and I get to be your host and moderator today on this exciting webinar titled 3 Steps to Fill Your Pipeline with Guaranteed Fannie Mae HARP Loans. I'm excited to have a couple of distinguished panelists with me today from a variety of parts of the United States of America, so stay tuned. We're going to have some testimonials with some current clients that have done some Fannie Mae HARP loan marketing and have funded some transactions, and they're going to tell you about their stories with working with Overflow Works. And then we're also going to talk to Jeff Bush, the founder and president of Overflow Works, and he's going to give us his insider marketing tactics. And he's just going to walk you through the simple 3 steps that you can take to start leveraging this niche opportunity. The 3 steps that we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about how to identify qualified Fannie Mae-owned mortgages in your area and beat the competition to them. We're going to talk about how to market to them using a high-response marketing strategy and best practices that have been proven out over the last few months of those people that have been the early pioneers of HARP marketing. We're also going to talk a little bit more about qualifying, submitting, and funding the loans and just giving you an expectation if you're just brand new to the marketplace. Our key panelist today is Jeff Bush. He's the president of OverflowWorks.com. He's had 18 years of direct marketing experience, and get this, he's mailed over 1 billion pieces of direct mail. That's a lot of postage headed out for mortgage customers around the country. He actually owned a mortgage banking firm that closed over 5,000 loans from 2000 to 2007, and he leveraged direct mail as his primary lead generation tactic. And so he's got lots of experience, and he's been actually traveling around the country talking about this idea of HARP marketing because it is the newest and fastest growing niche in the mortgage industry. So Jeff, welcome to the call.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Appreciate it.
Well, give me a little background here on what your experience has been in direct mail and mortgage mail, and then just talk a little bit more about this unique opportunity with HARP 2.0.
Yeah, so a quick background. I've been selling direct mail advertising to mortgage companies and car dealers for like 17 years, so most of my working life has been in the direct mail business, and just kind of carved out a little niche with mortgage, and it's worked really well. So I've gotten, pretty good at it and tested, a few thousand different letters and mailing lists and postcards, letters, self-mailers. So, just have a long, history of doing direct mail for mortgage companies all around the country. I kind of stepped away from it for the last couple of years because the mortgage business was just so hurting. I mean, no equity, no product. So I kind of just stayed away from it for the last 2 years. But then 6 months ago, I heard about this whole HARP deal, and knew that it was going to be a hot niche, so we developed some mailing lists and some mail pieces targeted specifically to these Fannie Mae-owned mortgages that are, prospects for HARP, and went out, pretty hard and fast when this thing came out 2-3 months ago. We were actually ahead of the game, and now we've got about 40 clients around the country doing marketing with us, and kind of fine-tuned this thing. So we're gonna talk a little more about that.
Great. I'm going to throw up a poll here real quick. If everybody can just cast their votes on here, I want to get an idea of how familiar people are with the HARP 2.0 process. And if everybody can just go ahead and cast their vote, I'll close that poll in just a second. But Jeff, we're going to jump into the first step of this 3-step process, and maybe you can kind of lead us in with just the obstacle or challenge in helping individual mortgage production originators to go out there and identify who those Fannie Mae-owned mortgages are beyond their own customer database and really capture the market and be the first to market this HARP 2.0 opportunity.
So yeah, the key to any successful direct marketing campaign and to have success in funding a lot of loans in your mortgage business from your direct marketing campaign is you got to have a real good list and a real good offer. I mean, those two things are 80% of the reason if your mail campaign is going to succeed or fail. The actual mail piece you use, whether you do a postcard, a letter, whether it's red or blue or black, that really is only 20% of the success. List and offer are big. So you got to find people that Fannie Mae owns their mortgage, that you can mail this offer to. We can refinance your house even if you're upside down, if your loan's owned by Fannie Mae. So we just found a way to find the Fannie Mae owned mortgages, 100% guarantee it, because we're verifying, with Fannie Mae that this loan is owned by them. So, our standard criteria loan amounts 150 to 417. Those are the conforming loans that Fannie was buying. We typically like doing loan dates from 04 to 09. That meets the Fannie guidelines for submission. And then we have addresses and some phone numbers, some that we can, market to. And this is an actual sample of a list with names, addresses, lender name, LTV, loan amount, and loan dates that are real Fannie Mae owned mortgages sitting here in Alpine, California, which is San Diego County.
Well, Jeff, talk a little bit more about the value and the quality of the list, because I know that there's a lot of people that are on that just did the polling that said that they're not extremely familiar with HARP 2.0, but maybe they've been approached by their title rep, or they've been hearing that they can go grab title records or a title database. How does that compare with your data?
Well, here's our experience. When we go out and look at 10,000 mortgages that fit the loan date range and the conforming loan amounts that we pull, only 25% of them are owned by Fannie Mae. So if you go get a list from your title company of 10,000 mortgages, let's say, Bank of America, Countrywide, you pick out loan dates and cities and lender names, you're only going to have 25% accuracy. When you send your mailer out, 25% of the people can actually, get a HARP loan. So it's a big waste of your loan officer's time, your time, and a lot of your money, just mass marketing to a title list, okay? Best I've seen is some of the title companies, by targeting certain lender names, maybe they can get it up to 50% accuracy, but, our lists are 100% accurate because we're verifying the loans owned by Fannie Mae. That's the big difference in this data, and, why ours costs a little more, because you're going to market specifically to people that are guaranteed to be owned by Fannie,
I got some questions coming in from the audience. I appreciate those. And if you have a question, go ahead and submit that. We'll try to get to that during our call today. The first question, Jeff, is the guarantee. What does that mean that you're able to guarantee? I mean, is that money-back guarantee? I mean, how are you able to guarantee that the mortgage record is owned by Fannie Mae?
Well, like I said, we're verifying with Fannie Mae that they own that mortgage. So end of story. It's 100% guaranteed. If you get one phone call or one person that says that they're, not Fannie Mae owned, we'd refund you. So it's, it's accurate data, based on the day we looked it up, which is about a week before your mailer goes out. So it's real accurate,
It looks like that from the looks of this particular slide that counts for some different large counties, there's quite a bit of data out there, but you're also doing an exclusive on the data. So talk a little bit more about exclusivity and how that works, and how some of these early adapters to this HARP 2.0 marketing can kind of beat the competition to the market.
Well, we only have, like I said, maybe 40 or 50 clients now around the country, and you can see that they're buying 2,500 mailers typically. So, and you can see how much data is out there for Fannie Mae owned mortgages. I mean, these are just some random counts, I think alphabetical by state and county, that are some big numbers out there. Like Los Angeles, California, obviously has 225,000 mortgages there that fit the loan dates and the loan amounts that everyone's looking for, but there's only 56,000 that are Fannie Mae owned. So, and then only 5,400 with phone numbers. So it's a targeted database. As far as the exclusivity, whatever you buy, I'm not going to sell it to another mortgage company. If you buy, 2,500 names, it's your data. I'm not going to go sell it to someone else. Is the exclusivity. And as long as you keep ordering with us, every month or two, you'll have unending exclusivity on that data. So
we've got a couple quick questions about the Fannie owned a call. That is basically numbers that have been scrubbed against the do not call list, Jeff?
Yes, that are Fannie Mae owned.
Great. Next question is what about credit? Do you use some sort of a credit qualifier? How do you know that they haven't been foreclosed upon, or that there's some other reason why they don't qualify?
Well, if the home got foreclosed on, that's a public record, so they'd be taken off our database. So if they've already had a foreclosure, our lists update every week, depending on the county and how fast they report, to us. But the lists are pretty accurate. You're not going to have that many foreclosures on the list. You will have some people that call you that are late on their mortgage that you just can't help. We've got a couple clients on the phone that can tell you more on that. I'll tell you that if you're in a market area that's really upside down, like I know Michael's on the call and he's from Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix got hit hard on values. So the more upside down a market is, the more mortgage late people are going to call you. But my experience is it's only 10%, maybe 20% of your calls will be late on the mortgage. So we refer those out to real estate agents to try to short sell their house since they don't qualify for a Fannie HARP refi. So we still get some benefit out of giving some realtors some leads. They go take a listing. Maybe you can do the purchase loan on that property. That would be my suggestion on what to do with the mortgage late leads, but it's only 10 to 20%. So you still have 80% to 90% of the leads to work, and that's where you're going to find your 5, 10, 20 deals, out of 50 calls, something like that.
Now, you've made this really easy for individuals that want to test this marketing. You've got a couple of different packages available. Just maybe walk them through the packages, and then we'll show them some of the sample mailers, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the actual case studies and interview our panelists today.
So we have 3 packages. Silver packages if you just want to buy the data. Some people, hey, my brother owns a mail house, so I want to do the printing and mailing, and I want to actually hold the envelopes and put them in the mailbox myself. So if you just want to buy data, you can buy the silver package, 2,500 records for $1,975. The gold package is what 90% of our clients are buying, and that's where we send out a mailer in a window envelope. So we design a letter for you, print it, insert it into an envelope, mail it. That's typically standard mail postage, so 4 to 8 days delivery time. That includes the data. We email you a copy of the data, so you own the data. If you want to go do a mailing, yourself a month later, you can do that. Or you can come back and mail it again with me for pretty inexpensive once you buy the list, because out of the $3,675, $1,975 of that is the data, and the mailer's only $1,600, $1,700. So that's been real popular for us to design and mail the letters. So basically, you just pay me the money, and we mail the letters out for you. You get 25 to 75 incoming calls, depending on what market area you're in. The only difference in the Platinum package is instead of putting the letters into a window envelope,